In the previous video, we have studied about the methods of communication. In the previous video, we have also seen various methods of communication, how they work. Now we are with a new chapter. If you have any doubt, you can give in the comment about the methods of communication. Now we will start Communication Cycle Chapter 2 of Unit 1 Communication Skills. In the previous chapter, we have already discussed the various important role of communication for a professional career. Now we will also discuss about the communication cycle and its importance for professional career of an individual. You may be knowing that the communication is a means or process for sharing the information between two friends, two relatives, between father and son, or mother and daughter, or boss and employee of the organization. With the communication, we can exchange thoughts, messages using various mediums of speech, visuals, symbols, in a written form or by performing some actions. Communication process is very helpful when one person who want to convey any information or message to another person. The person who want to convey the information is sender and the person who will receive the information is receiver. Receiver gets the message from the sender. After that, it is responsibility of receiver to acknowledgement about the message to the sender. Means receiver has to send back the response whatever message he or she has received, and this is known as communication cycle. So communication cycle is when a receiver gets the message and he acknowledge or send back its response to the sender of the message. In communication cycle, it is described how the idea, thought, feeling was expressed or given to the receiver. Communication cycle has various resources like email, social media, voice over internet message, etc. And the effectiveness of communication cycle depends how long the receiver takes to give feedback to the sender. When receiver is giving quick feedback to the sender, then it is known as very effective communication cycle. And always communication cycle should be very effective. Let's take a real life example of communication when a teacher instructs students that you have to read an unseen passage and after that you have to answer the exercise. But students carelessly don't listen to the teacher properly and they start answering the exercise without going through the unseen passage and they may make mistake. So if the communication is not effective, in that case what will happen? The receiver will not receive properly the message and he will not understand, and after that the output of the receiver will be not up to the mark or maybe sometimes wrong. We will now discuss the principle of effective communication. The main principles of effective communications are simple language, definite, complete and concise. Appropriate medium should be followed. Authentic and courteous. These are the important principles of effective communication. While communicating with others, we should keep our language so simple that others can easily understand and they may not get confused due to big words or different vocabulary used by the sender of the message. The communication should be defined in such a way that the aim of giving the message to the receiver from sender should be clearly understood by the receiver, and the information through the communication should be small and complete. Means in short you can say the information given by the sender to receiver should be point to point clear to the receiver. And when the communication is done, in that case appropriate way or medium for the communication should be used, like proper timing should be used when sender is telling anything to the receiver, then the distance between them should not be more so that the receiver may not get appropriate message. Whatever information that is given from sender to receiver should be authentic and it should be factual information. It should not be the wrong information. And sender should be very polite and courteous while giving the communication. That helps to build a healthy relationship between sender and receiver. Now we'll see the elements of communication cycle. The various elements of the communication cycle are sender, the message which are coded and sent, the channel through which the message is sent, and the message receiver. Means the message receiver will help you to decode the message, and the receiver who gets the decoded message. After that, when the sender message is received by the receiver, then this message should be acknowledged and appropriate feedback should be forwarded from the receiver to sender in response to the previous message. So discussing with the elements of communication cycle, when the receiver receives the message after decoding by the decoder, then that message response is to be sent to the sender from receiver side in a form of feedback, which is very important. So now I'll see what is feedback. Feedback is a important factor in the whole process of communication cycle. It is the reaction response that sender receives from the receiver sides, and in this receiver tells that how much receiver understood the message of sender. So feedback completes the communication cycle. When sender sends the message, it is encoded, forwarded to the medium, and after that again it is decoded and receiver receives the decoded message. Then receiver has to give feedback to the sender. Let's take two examples. The monitor of the class is instructed by the teacher to explain the rules of sitting in library. She explained each rule one by one, and all have to listen them carefully. As a result, class gets reward for being the most disciplined class in a school. Here, every class has responded according to the message that they will be the disciplined one, and they become the disciplined one. So this was the feedback by the class, and due to that they receive reward. In another example, suppose teacher guides that the classroom will do the activity. Here in the second example, when skating is over, then students were guided by the teacher to keep the skates carefully so that it may not be in the passage or anybody may not get hurt. But some students don't listen carefully and they keep skirts in way so that when other students were passing, then they get hurt from the skirts. Here, few students, those who kept skirts carefully, they haven't listened the message and that's why they were not responding to the teachers properly. And due to that, other students got hurt. Any feedback may be positive feedback or negative feedback. Positive feedback indicates sender that his communication is going well and he needs to continue the communication or she needs to continue the communication in the same manner. But on the negative feedback also suggest the sender that he needs to change the mode and make changes in the ways and mode of communication so that the receiver can get the proper message and receiver can understand. Feedback is very important due to various reasons because it is a very important part of active communication. It can be seen that the message which are received by the receiver, that message should be getting the proper feedback from the receiver side. When any kind of learning is going on, then feedback from the student side is very important to acknowledge the teacher about the knowledge and performance of students. A feedback can enhance the confidence, self-awareness, enthusiasm for learning for students. Depending upon the feedback given by the students, one can take the right action at right time. A effective feedback must be linked to the work a student is doing and not measuring other student progress. So if a student is giving proper feedback, means accordingly a teacher can understand that a student is learning properly. If feedback is effective, then the success of a student is also definite and the chance of getting successful for the student is more in comparison to poor feedback. It is believed that the effective feedback delivered by the student is accessible in different ways and it should be delivered at appropriate time so that all the students can work with the feedback given by the teacher. Suppose teacher is giving any assignment to the student and students are doing that, whatever place students are required to be suggested by the teacher should timely suggest them and student can improve in that part. Feedback will be always helpful for a student to learn any topic or any new thing what they are learning. Let's take an example. During clay modeling period, the teacher is giving feedback on the performance of a student and one student, Rohan, is very disheartened because he is not able to make aeroplane model. After it was demonstrated 4 to 5 times, then teacher observed him and figured out the problem of the Rohan's model. Teacher says Rohan that if you are doing it little carefully with a focused mind, then you can make proper model. And by listening this positive feedback from teacher's side, the Rohan made a very beautiful model and everybody clapped loudly for Rohan's model. So this feedback was positive feedback from teacher's side and motivated Rohan to make a good model. After failing 4 or 5 times, he was successfully able to make a good model. So dear students, feedback is very important in every field. Now we'll discuss how feedback is important in different ways. First we'll talk about the basis of problem solving. In this, when a receiver gets a message, then receiver can be agree with the sender whatever sender is saying, or receiver may disagree. Accordingly, the receiver will send feedback to the sender, and the feedback given by the receiver to the sender will help the sender to interpret the behavior of receiver, and accordingly he or she will plan out the next step to be taken. This is serving the basic of problem solving. Feedback is important to understand the effectiveness of listening. When the listener or receiver is concentrating on the sender's message, then they can give appropriate message, and with the help of that appropriate message, sender can analyze that what receiver understand, and sender can also come to know that the communication was successful for the receiver or not. Feedback can be very helpful in motivating the students also. With the help of right feedback, students can be motivated to do wonderful works. We can put our students on their right path so that they can easily achieve the desired goal. With the help of feedback, it can be easily help them to improve their performance. The students can overcome their fears and they can accomplish their goals, and easily they can improve their performance and they can score the maximum in their destination. Feedback is a tool for continued learning. It plays a very important role in the learning ongoing process. With the positive feedback, they are pushed to remain aligned to their goal, and they focus on their target, and improvement areas are known to them, and they can be very easily getting the opportunity and fulfilling their need and achieving maximum. Now I'll discuss the types of feedback. The feedback may be a descriptive feedback. In descriptive feedback, various informations in the form of written comments or verbal communication are there, and this written feedback helps to understand the receiver about the sender's message, and sender also will understand what is the understandability of receiver, and also what changes are needed to be made. There are various benefits of the written feedback or descriptive feedback. It helps one to focus on the task, and it offers various benefits like providing useful information to the students about their learning, filling the gap between the present level of performance and what the level is required to achieve the goal of learning. Descriptive feedback enables the students to self-assess themselves, and then they can set their goals accordingly. When the students are informed with the positive feedback about their work, then they get happy and they are encouraged to proceed further. And sometimes feedback helps them to understand clearly the concept and improve where the area they are lagging or where the improvement is required. There are various factors essential in giving descriptive feedback. When we are giving a descriptive feedback, we can make it more effective. We should keep following points in mind: that our feedback should be goal oriented. The aim of learning should be in our mind, so that the student can get proper feedback, and they should be knowing about their learning aim with the help of feedback, and they work in that particular direction to achieve their goal. The feedback should be given in such a way that it should be actionable. When a student will have the knowledge but they don't know where to apply, then they will lose their interest in learning. So we should give feedback in a actionable form, so that they can use their knowledge practically and they will enjoy learning. Feedback should be user friendly to the students. They can easily understand. The language selected for the feedback should be easy, so that they can achieve their learning aim. If the language is not easy and feedback is not user friendly, then a student may lose their interest, and again they will not be able to achieve their goal. Feedback should also be given timely, when there is chance to improve, and it should be given at the appropriate time, so that a student can easily achieve their goal within time. And continuously feedback should be provided, so that at every step they are getting the proper feedback, and this will be always remain focused on their goal. Consistent feedback helps them to move in right direction. If they are getting step by step feedback, then all the steps made by the students will be always correct. So with good quality of feedback, learning will be very effective. The feedback always should be task oriented, so that students can refine their skills, rearrange in their learning, and concentrate on their goal. Feedback can be specific and non-specific depending upon the information which are conveyed through it. A specific feedback provides detailed information about a particular work or related to particular work of a individual's performance. It is always beneficial, as it gives receiver something substantial, and receiver will think in that particular area. For example, it was impressive that we start with a question to hook the listeners, and after that we can explain our topic. In non-specific feedback, general information are given. A non-specific feedback is uncertain and not very clear, so it may not help much. It also don't guide receiver properly to achieve the desired goal. It gives the impression that the sender has not given a thoughtful response. Like here, if a great job is received in a form of feedback, it is about the success, but it is not very specific. So always there is a need for a specific feedback. It will be highly constructive if a specific feedback is given, and it may be proved to be very beneficial to the receiver. When receiver receives specific feedback, accordingly receiver focus and improve the work and performance. Most of the people don't give feedback in order to avoid defensive reaction, but it is very important for the person to improve. So always feedback should be given, and it should be a specific feedback. Now let's have a recap of the chapter. We are at the end of the chapter, and a small recap we will be having now. Let's start. Communication process is sharing of information between a sender and receiver. That may be a thought, message, information, or any speech, any visual, images, audios, videos, any symbol, any written information, or any body gesture. The communication cycle describes how an idea, impression, feeling is made known to the others. The feedback is the response that receiver gives after the message is received and understood by him or her. And based on the feedback from the receiver, sender can reconstruct the message, and sender will re-evaluate the message and understand how effective the sender's message was to the receiver. Feedback is required to continue the process for active communication. Means every time the sender has to send the data, and receiver will respond with the feedback. In this way, with the help of feedback, sender and receiver will be connected with each other, and it lets the effective communication between sender and receiver. A feedback should be task oriented, that allows the student to refine their skills, rearrange their learning, and concentrate on their goals. Feedback should be specific also. It provides the detailed information about something particular relating to the task or individual performance. A non-specific feedback gives uncertain response to the receiver, and receiver may not be able to focus on their goal. So dear students, we have covered the second chapter also, that is communication cycle. Very soon I will be available with you all for the third chapter. Meanwhile, you complete the exercise so that we can discuss the exercise in our live class. I will be sending you the timing of the live class so that you can come along with your book and you can complete the exercise. I am showing you the exercise portion here in the video. You can have the screenshot of this, and next time when we will meet, you can complete it. You can take the screenshot of the video, because the video I am making on your book, most of you are not having book to help you all in that way. After taking the screenshot, you can complete the exercise in your fair copy, and that you will upload in your GCR when assessment time will be there. Here is the next portion of fill in the blanks. You can take a screenshot of this, and true false is also here. This also you have to complete, and these 4 questions answer you need to find from the video. You can take various pages screenshot one by one, and you can arrange in your mobile. That help you to find out the answers of the exercise and question and answer. Very soon, see you all in the next video. Till then, signing off. Take care. Bye bye.